about to do a craft project, or we're going to do 2 craft projects. One that Nixon is going to complete and one that I'm going to complete. So Nixie, what are you going to make today?
N.
He's going to decorate an N.
And you're making a pom-pom hat.
A pom-pom hat, not quite a pom-pom hat, but we're making a Juju hat. Something, kind of a statement interior piece that I've always wanted, but they're pretty spendy. So I thought I would give it a shot and make my own one. Nixie, what are you going to decorate your N with today? Show me your feathers. What have we got? Cool. So Nixon is going to decorate a Kaiser Craft woodblock N with some colourful feathers. We're going to use a low temperature hot glue gun for him. And then I am going to try and make a Juju hat. So I've got all my equipment here, which will be listed in the blog. But I guess the main piece that is going to hold everything together is this wooden round placemat from Kaiser Craft, which I picked up from Spotlight on sale for $3.49, I think. So that is our backbone of this project. And all of these feathers, I've got so many different kinds.
Sharing.
You want to share these? Well, what about these beautiful ones? Mine are boring white colours. Yeah, that looks good, Nix. Perfect. So just a little note, because there's 2 types of hot glue guns, which I didn't really...
The hair glue.
Hair glue, no, we don't use hair glue guns, but there's low temp and high temp ones, and when you're working with feathers, the high temp one is going to be fine if you're just gluing the shaft, but a hot temp glue gun could possibly melt the feathers. So when you were getting to the middle of the Juju hat and you might be gluing feathers on top of feathers, probably better to use a low temp one. So this little pink guy here that Nixon and I are going to use is the Crafter's Choice low temp glue gun.
Can I put some glue on?
Okay, so Nixon is hard at work with his project. Dave's supervising him with the glue gun, which even though it's low temp is still really hot, so might need some adult help there. So we're going to get started with our Kaiser wood placemat. But we don't want to just stick our feathers flat on the surface. We want to create a really concave piece of art, so when it hangs on the wall, it's going to stand out. So I had to think about this, and in order to create that effect, I'm going to start with a ostrich feather boa and stick that on around the edge.
I didn't hurt, actually.
Yeah, okay? Stick that on around the edge so that when we put our big single feathers on, it's really going to encourage them to pop up. So let's see how that goes. So Nixie's finished his project.
Whoa.
He has decorated. He's decorated his N, and he decided to do it on both sides with the awesome colourful feathers that we found, eh? Cool. So he's going to go and take this and proudly display his artwork in his bedroom, and we'll keep going with our Juju hat. So as I mentioned, one thing that I really want to do is make this a really concave, very full looking Juju hat. So to help us create that, feathers are naturally kind of bowed in one direction. So instead of sticking them on this way, I'm going to turn them around and actually use the underside, which is color-wise slightly more a bit subdued, which works anyway. So that's going to really help create the bowl effect that I'm looking for with this project. Kind of phase 1 is done. It's actually looking really cool. I'm really excited. So I've put on I'm going to call these guys my feature feathers, but a lot of Juju hats don't have feathers like this. They'd just be single color or sort of dappled white with some beige. So just whatever really works for your decor. Okay, so when I'm looking at it, it's a little bit gappy around the exterior, which I want to fill in a bit. So to do that, I'm going to use the cheapest feathers that I found at Spotlight, which are from the Clubhouse range. So these are turkey feathers. So I'm going to use 2 feathers on each of the quills, and I'm going to glue them like that on each one, just to fill in those spaces around the outside a bit more. Okay, we are finally on to the next step of our project. And what I'm using here is this really cool product. These are marabou stork feathers, and they've been pre-sewn onto a satin ribbon. So I'm just moving around the Juju Hat base in a circular motion and just gluing these strips on just to fill out the Juju Hat and create some more volume. The first round of the marabou ribbon feathers applied. So our hole in the middle is getting a little smaller. We've still got to keep going because I've got lots of different feathers and I want to use them all to create, you know, increased volume and lots of different detail. I'm actually going to use some feathers that I found in the millinery section. So this is where if people are making hats to go to the races, oh, what are they? Fascinators. So I went to the fascinator department, and the millinery department is what it's really called. And I found these goose feathers. So they come 8 in a pack. So I grabbed, I think I've got 3 packs of these. So I'm going to do a layer of goose feathers just over the top of those satin ribbon. So I've just done a round of the millinery feathers and things are looking good. It's definitely getting a lot more texture in there. Things are filling up nicely. So I'm going to add another little find from the millinery department. These are called Feather Biot. I'm not really sure what they are, but they're really cool kind of twisted feathers. So I'm going to just add some of these just sort of randomly around that layer before we do another round of the marabou ribbon. Give you a little close-up of what I've been doing because I know it's hard to see from over there. So these big large quills are the feature quills. So they've gone all the way to the middle. So they're actually a really good vantage point from which to see how your spacing's going and attach all the other feathers to. So you can see I've just done the curled millinery feathers. And each of those have been glued to one of the big quills. So it's looking good, but I can still see some of the ribbon. So we're going to have to do some more infilling and gradually work our way into the center. But I'm loving it. It's looking really good. I'm switching back over to the cheaper turkey feathers, which I have a lot of, and so I'm just going to really quick just do a glue around and just make that satin tape invisible. So I've just finished that infill layer. Pop some turkey feathers in just over the tops of the satin ribbon that was a bit visible. So I'm going to start another circle round using the marabou satin ribbon. This is really going to pretty much take us to covering up all the quills and starting to finish up this project, which is exciting, and it's just looking It's looking better than I had imagined, so I'm really, really happy, and I'm still enjoying it because it's very peaceful sitting here gluing and being creative and actually taking some time to do something that's not really work. I really enjoy working with the feathers that are sewn onto the ribbon because it's a lot faster, but also when you're gluing them in place, you can mold the ribbon over the top of the quills that you're gluing them on, so it actually allows the feathers to stand up a bit more. You get a bit more dimension, which is cool. Here you go, guys, and this is a pretty good way for you to see what's going on at the moment. So I've just finished applying that second round of satin ribbon, and now what I'm going to do to finish up is just keep going around alternating turkey feathers, the millinery feathers, and the twisty curly millinery feathers. Plus I've only got a few of these, so I'm going to save them right till the end, but there's these beautiful feathers that I also found in the millinery department. So those are going to be my finishing touches, and I'm going to swirl. I've been saving my little offcuts from the satin ribbon, so they will be swirled right in the middle in the center, just to cover up those bits and finish off. Okay, well, it's been a frantic couple of hours behind the glue gun, but it's finished. I'm so stoked with how it turned out. I especially love, you can kind of see it here, the detail that has come through just by using a bunch of different styles of feathers that I found in Spotlight. So I kind of went to every department and just checked out their feather stash and ended up with the, what were these? Eagle feathers, imitation eagle feathers, turkey feathers, marabou stork feathers, which I used a lot because they came on the ribbon. That was easy. And then in the millinery section, I found some curly feathers, some twisted feathers, and just some beautiful big ostrich feathers. So I will take some better pictures for you and put the whole process step by step on the blog, which you're probably reading now. If not, head to thebestnest.co.nz and check it out. How to make your own Juju hat.